Hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new to the series, let me tell you how it works. I listen to albums throughout the week, some new albums, some older albums, and I pick ones I want to give my opinion on and review them in this video. Remember, my opinion is mine and mine only. You may have a different opinion, so don't take anything I say too seriously. And if you do, leave a comment about it. Anyways, let's head on to the first album of today's video. The first album of today's video is Baby Gravy 3 by Young Gravy and Baby No Money. Information on the project. This would be the duo's third project together. Information from Apple Music. Review. This album was great. I went in with low expectations and left happy. Overall, this project by Baby Gravy was fire. The production on the entire project was great and the writing was on the better side as well. Vocal wise, there was also some other better work for both of the artists, and this is for sure the best project for both sides. And who knows, maybe one day they'll come back together and make a fourth one for real. I also do have to say that there are multiple features they had, and I do feel that Freddy Dread was the best one. Lastly, my standout songs are No Way Jose, Super Smash Bros, and Nightmare on Peach Street. Up next, we have Baby No Money by Baby No Money. Information on the project. The album would be the most recent release by the artist. He would also say in an interview that no seriousness for the album whatsoever. Information from Apple Music and Wikipedia. Review. Now we are on to our latest and last Baby No Money project that we'll be touching on until he drops another album. So, how was it? It was okay. Of course, it's a Baby No Money project, so there's not much else I can say other than what I have said before. And this project, while it did have good songs, it had a lot of filler. Overall, this project was super strong on the first half of the project, and when it came to the second half of the project, it lacked a lot and full of a ton of filler. While yes, this album was what he would say no seriousness, in this album it would also be filled with so much filler. And even though there aren't any bad songs. It's just the filler itself. When there's that much filler, it's it can ruin albums. Like we've talked about with Ozuna and his previous albums, where he overdoes it with filler and he'll just kill some songs. And that's for sure what killed this project. I think if this project was on the shorter side, it definitely could have been a very decent project by him. Lastly, my standout songs are Gigolo, It Boy, Shaq, 1-800, and 2. Up next, we have A Head Full of Dreams by ColdPlay. Information on the project. It would feel like the mark of the end. It would mark like the end of something for ColdPlay, and that there are no more concerns about what is cool and about what is trendy and about the stuff that goes on around in the music scene for them. Information from Apple Music. Review. This was a beautiful album to listen to. At first, I was a little concerned going into this album, as I've seen online many people talking negatively about this album, but I enjoyed this album a lot. Overall, this is a great album with such a great production wise. His vocals are also amazing on the entire project and some of the best vocals that I've heard from Chris in such a long time. Lyrics are also well written and something to not be looked over when hearing this album. I also do have to say that on the song Army of One, it was a double song. And while the second song was amazing, the second part of it, the first half of the song was terrible. It was horrendous. It was one of the worst things I have ever heard from Coldplay. The second half though was very nice, like I said. I was close to making this song lose points, but luckily the second song came in and helped this song out a lot, and it could have been a song that brought down many points for me for this album. But like I said, the second half came in clutch and helped this album out a lot. Lastly, my standout songs are Hum for the Weekend and Adventure of a Life. Up next, we have Los Dioses by Anuell AA and Ozuna. Information on the project. The power duo would drop this project, and it was a long-awaited dream by both of their fans. And when they would finally drop the project, fans all around the world would cheer in happiness as they would bless all of us. Yes, I said all of us. Information from Apple Music. Review. This album was decent. It had its strengths, but it also had its weak areas as well. I also did see many people online did hate this album a lot, which I think is crazy as it's definitely not the worst album, but there are many that did not like this album at all. Overall, this was a decent project by what should have been a power duo in Anuel AA and Ozuna, but came off more as something that maybe they just did for the money instead of doing it for the fans. While production on most of these songs is fine, and there are also multiple where the beats did miss. Also, maybe it's because it was a duo project, but I do feel that like Osuna's iconic vocals that we have gotten in the past, we did not get in this project. And simply you can also tell that there are multiple songs where they just did not care at all. Songs 10, 11, and 12 are just straight up off one for sure. Bottom five songs in both of these artists' discographies. And I don't know. I think that this album it would have been better as an EP if you ask me, because the first half of the project was beautiful. It was great. It was well written enough-ish. Beats were okay. You know, it wasn't the worst of the worst, but then you go into the second half and it's just terrible, terrible. But this album, it ranks on the bottom for Ozuna albums and for Anuel albums. It's down there as well. But it's not something not something I would really waste my time going out of my way to listen to. The only good songs from this album are just my standout songs, which you'll hear in a second. And yeah, you know, it's like this was a miss. I was excited going into this album, but severely disappointed not coming out of it. And my standout songs, which I think are the best songs in the album, are Antes, Nena Buena, and Perfecto. Up next, we have Equilibrium, I think that's how you say that, by Anitta. Information on the project. With pride in both her music and the culture of her home country of Brazil, with all the projects that he has dropped in the past, that she has dropped in the past, she is now being considered a powerful ambassador of the native sounds heard on her projects. Information from Apple Music. Review. Let me be clear about this review before we carry on. I do not speak Portuguese, so with the entire review of this album, take it with a grain of salt, as I was mainly focusing on vibe and her vocals and her pace and the beat. So take it with a grain of salt. Overall, this is a great album to hear production wise. Give me 1 second. It's a good album to hear production wise, as I don't speak the language spoken by the artist, and while Portuguese and Spanish do have similar words, it wasn't enough for me to do lyric reviews on all songs. But the few songs that were in Spanish and the one song in English that had the lyrics that I was able to review, they were amazing. They're very well written and she pops off. So I just know that in the original lyrics, where obviously she's singing in Portuguese, that they must have been amazing to hear. I will say that the vocals on all songs except for Shoka Shoka are amazing. Also, the song called Nana, I just know that the two features on the song carried it. As when I went into this song, I was feeling like, the song was feeling okay at best, but as soon as both of those features came in, they cooked the asses off. So I just know that if I knew Portuguese, that song would have been insane. That song's still added to my playlist, right? But oh, bro, I just know it could have been that much better. Um, and yeah, you know, this was a great album. And even if you don't know Portuguese, I think you should really go ahead and check out this album. Lastly, my standout songs are I'm going to say these in Spanish. If you pronounce these in Portuguese differently, I apologize. But I'm going to pronounce these in Spanish. My standout songs are Desgracia, Varias Quejas, So Much Love, and Nana. And finally, the last album that we'll be going over in this video is Super Bloom by Jessie Ware. Information on the project. When asked what her album would be if it were a flower, she would say, "The problem is I want a bouquet, babe." As she would let Apple Music know, being described as an album with sounds that can be exaggerated but are still perfect with the bar that the artist has set for herself. Information from Apple Music. Review. And for our final album of the day, we are here. This was for sure a change of pace for me, as I'm pretty sure this is the first disco album that I've sat down and heard all the way, and for sure the first disco album that we have reviewed on the channel. Overall, this had good production. It did highly remind me of the type of music my uncle would listen to, and this gave me those memories of when I would go over to his house and he would play this type of music. Lyric wise, it was decent. There are some songs where they ain't well written, but there are also some songs that had very, very good writing tied to them. Vocal wise, it was also super good, but not the best vocals that we heard this week. And lastly, my standout songs are Ride and 16 Summers. And before we continue on with this video, I would quickly want to give a quick thank you to the partner of the channel, Medkit Mystery Boxes. If you don't know what they are, let me tell you. Medkit Mystery Boxes are gaming related mystery boxes that you can get on a month-to-month subscription or a one-time purchase if you want to try it out for a month or gift it to someone else. They have all types of boxes for the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox console, Nintendo Switch, and even PC. You can receive gaming accessories to help improve your gaming experience, gaming-related items to help decorate your room, and even goodies for you to try at home like chips, candy, and even G Fuel packets for you to try at your house. If you're interested in trying them out, make sure to use my affiliate link down below or use code TrainDavid when checking out for a discount and to support the channel out. Anyways, guys, let's get back into the video. And once again, a quick massive thank you to Medkit Mystery Boxes. And now it is time for everyone's favorite part of this video, standout album of the week. If you're not sure what standout albums of the week are, let me tell you, there are albums that I pick throughout the week, one or two albums that I think are the albums that you need to go listen to the moment you click off this video. So pretty much I just pick one or two albums, and this week we had two albums. Surprisingly, I thought I was only gonna have one album this week, but nope, we have two. So let me tell you about it. Your first standout album of the week goes to Baby Gravy 3 by Baby No Money and Young Gravy. So I know this is crazy. I know this is wild. Hear me out though. You go listen to this album. It's genuinely great. You need to go, when you're going into this album though, you need to go into it knowing it's a Baby No Money album. Because if you go in expecting actual good music, you're not getting that. But if you go into this with like the very low quality Baby No Money has set for himself, this is a very good project. It's very decent. And I'm honestly happy that he was able to get a standout album because every single artist that I've done, they always get at least one standout album of the week. And he was looking like he was gonna be the first one to not get that. He did it this week. He did it this week. I'm proud of him. Young Gravy, Baby No Money, you guys cooked. And you guys get if and Baby No Money, you got your stand album of the week that you so desperately needed, as this was the final week that you exist on this channel, unless you drop another album. And your second standout album of the week goes to A Head Full of Dreams by ColdPlay. Once again, this album was so overhated online. I think it was a very great album. It was amazing. It was fire. It had everything you needed. It's a perfect album. I don't have much else to complain about this album. You guys ignore the hate. If you hate this album, I need you to tell me why. I need you to tell me why. If you hate this album, tell me why. But if you don't hate this album, or if you've never heard this album, please go listen to this album. It's very great. Except for that one song that I did mention. What was it? Give me a second. Give me a second. Army of One. That song is shit. Like it's a double song. The first half is shit. The second half is nice. So keep that in mind when you do make it to that song. But yeah, those are your stand albums of the week. Baby Gravy 3 by Baby No Money, Young Gravy, and a Head Full of Dreams by Coldplay. And finally, it is yet time, my favorite part of this video. So if you don't know what yet time is, I talk about anything and everything, whether it's music related, non-music related, sports related, sometimes political related. I talk about literally anything I want to during nap time. This week I do have a couple topics, surprisingly, but I don't think the video will get pushed into 20-minute mark. I'm gonna try to keep these quick because it is also 12:30 at night, and I do have work in the morning. I'm just doing this so I can get this video out for you guys Monday morning. Because I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And my watch is gonna die, whatever. Anyway, so my first topic is why there wasn't no Hogwarts Legacy video this week. So if you watch my Twitch, or if you have my Twitch notifications on, you may have seen that I played Hogwarts Legacy, but I wasn't there on video. So even though I do have the footage recorded and it's sitting on my PlayStation, I decided to hold back. So pretty much, you'll see it when I do upload the video because I'm going to upload all the clips at once. Maybe the videos can be like closing in like hopefully 2 hours, right? That's the goal. But it's just I wasn't high enough leveled, and I'm currently. It's like any RPG game. I now need to go and grind fighting like these smaller enemies so I can get more XP, level up, and become stronger. Because I'm currently stuck. There's this level that's impossible for me. I was doing no damage to the enemies, and frankly, it was depressing. But I do plan to play Hogwarts Legacy live on stream. So, you can go see me level up and do stuff like that, and you can have an idea of what the video is going to be. But instead of that, what's going to be replacing it this week's gaming video will be, what's it called? Mouse PI for Hire, or is it PI for Hire Mouse? I don't know. It's something like that. The game came out this week. I had fun. I'm really considering doing multiple gaming videos just so I can play more for this game because I really enjoyed it. But we'll see how that goes. And pretty much that's why there wasn't no Hogwarts Legacy video this week. I did play, I did record. It's just it's not worth me uploading. It maybe would have been a 20-minute video. And well, yes, that's something I know that would do a lot more better for me as a smaller channel. I'd rather do a fuller, more 1 to 2 hour gameplay video, as that's what I'm adjusting to you guys, what I love uploading for you guys, these longer gameplay videos. right? Because if I only want to do these 20-minute videos, I would there's no use on me editing on my laptop when I could just do it on Share Factory for easier, faster, right? But yeah, maybe next week, right? Maybe next week, maybe the week after that. But right now, I'm gonna be playing Mouse Play for Hire, so we'll eventually Hogwarts. We'll get to it eventually, so don't worry about that. And on my Twitch, I'm also gonna start playing Watch Dogs sometime this week. I'm gonna be playing all three of the games again. Then after that, we're gonna be playing Spider-Man. And who knows, maybe Watch Dogs will be one of the background gameplay videos you see for these reviews. So who knows? I still have to decide if I want to do that or not. And my next topic is talking about athletics baseball. So we lost the series against the White Sox. I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We we lost against the White Sox. That was fun. Let's see. Yeah, we lost today 7-4. We beat them yesterday 7-6, but we did lose to them 9-2. We tied with the Rangers, if you guys remember. That's what we talked about last time, how we swept the Mets. But then we tied with the Rangers as we went 2-2. That's fine. Right now we're going at it with the Rangers for the top of the AL West, and we're also going at it with the Angels, which is crazy, but that's fine. Then right now we're gonna be going into playing the Mariners. Mariners, is that how you say it? Mariners? It seems right. But yeah, we're about to be going into playing with them. They're doing okay. They're not the worst team, right? Don't get me wrong, they're not the worst team. I can't see their standings. I don't care for the schedule. Yeah, they're not the worst team. They're 10-13. We're barely doing better than them. App Google Sports has us first place again. I don't know. So pretty much the AL West, it's somewhat competitive because we have the Mariners at 10-13. We have the LA Angels at 11-12. We have the Texas Rangers, I think, at 11-11. Obviously, us at the Athletics here at 11-11. So it's competitive time. I do hope we can sweep the Mariners because if we can, then that'll be like a nice little safety net that we have against the Rangers before we do play them again. Because after this series with the Mariners, we're immediately back with the Rangers. Because I'm trying to figure out who do the Rangers play this. Who do the Rangers play? The Rangers are going into not the New York Rangers. Um, baseball. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. They play the Pirates. Okay, so that they might actually sweep the Pirates. The Pirates are not the best team out there. Or no, I was wrong. Oh no, who the fuck was I confusing them for? Oh no, Pirates are 13-9. Okay, no, they might have a chance at sweeping. I need the Rangers to be swept, and hopefully we sweep the Mariners. But only time will tell with that. And then we have the Vegas Golden Knights hockey game. That's actually the playoff game. That's actually going on right now, but I do think we are losing against the Mammoths. I think we are currently down to the uh to the one, but let me quickly look it up. No, it's currently quarter three, and we are tied 2-2. So who knows? I'm not staying up to watch this game. Honestly, by the time I'm done with this video processing and like making the thumbnail and everything, it'll probably be done. So I'll see it by then. But hopefully you can win the Stanley Cup again. That would be very nice for us to win the Stanley Cup. Right? It feels nice, right? My baseball team is doing very good right now. My hockey team, we are going into the playoffs. Basketball, we don't talk because I watched the Nets and well, the Nets are Nets, but Vegas did get approved for a team, so that means I'll be supporting two basketball teams, and hopefully the Vegas team will be good. And speaking about Vegas, we're going into the NFL draft this week. The Fernando Mendoza season. If the Raiders don't draft Fernando Mendoza, I will be finding a bridge. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. But it's the NFL draft time, and if the hopefully the Raiders don't screw us up, Fernando Mendoza, it's right there. All signs point to us pointing to Fernando Mendoza. I will be reacting to it not live, but on my Instagram. So check out my Instagram. Train David. It should be in the description as well. And that's that. And the final topic of today's video is how horrible record store day was. So I finally save up for right. I've been collecting records for about 2 years, 3 years now, and I'm like, you know what? Let me save up for record store day. I save up for it, and I go out to my record store. It was terrible. I found nothing. So I did find two things. I'm going to make a TikTok video about it. I'm going to probably edit it tomorrow after I leave work because surprisingly, I get to leave work at early on a Monday. That never happens, but I also need my friend's birthday present to come in tomorrow because if it doesn't come in tomorrow, then he's getting that late. But I'm very excited to get him that too. And I don't know, it wasn't what I was expecting. And the stuff I did want, the store I did go to didn't have it, especially that TV Grow one, because that he looked fire. That looked fire, but people are not reselling it for the same prices. So for what I got, like two of like the actual record store day, to have the actual record store day items are I got one of the Rolling Stones single records. It's small. I don't think I'll ever play this because when I play smaller disc, I always have this fear that I'm gonna like mess up the needle and like place it somewhere wrong. And I also did get the Johnny Blue Skies and the Park Clouds, the image disc one, the one with the cigarettes and it was nice. It looked great, so that's why I got it. They also did have another thing that did interest me, but it was $150. I wasn't tapping 150 because so my plan was if I didn't find anything, I was gonna go back and pick it up because I saved $300 for it, so I was fine spending up to 300. But then I went to look around. I went to go see their new arrivals. Saw Debí tomar más fotos by Bad Bunny, grabbed it. Then I also finally grabbed the MF Doom one, the Food I think it's called. The one with rap stitches. I fuck, I'm forgetting what's on it, but it's the one with the food. And I grabbed Bully because I saw it and I was like, Bully was a good album. Let me grab it. It's the AI version. I'm disappointed. I'm sad. But it's too late for that. Hopefully next year Record Store Day will be better than this year. And one of my friends said that he'd be down to go with me next year. So, because he also collects physical music. So it'd be cool to go with a friend next year. And I also did go to the Lego store while I was there because I ended up having some leftover money and I bought three F1 Lego sets. I built the Cash App Red Bull one yesterday, and I have the Mercedes and the Apex GX one in the boxes that I plan to build at some point this week. But yeah, push this video on to over the 20-minute mark, but this is where it ends. Like I said, a lot less albums than normal next, and this week I have a little bit more days off, so maybe I'll do 7 albums this week. I know I did 7 albums this week, but like I don't know if you realize, but all of these, but like the albums I was gonna do, like my important albums, the two Baby No Money, the one Ozuna, the one ColdPlay, it only worked 3 hours. Then of the extra albums I did only pushed into like 4 hours, 2 minutes. So it was not as much as previous videos. But there's not much else for me to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. There should be a gameplay video, a gaming video this week. I can promise you guys that. Tomorrow or Monday morning after I leave work, I'm going to be grinding editing. I have 2 TikTok videos I want to upload, one for my main page and for my vinyl, and then obviously the gaming video. But yeah, not much else for me to say. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna let this video process. I'll make my thumbnail. I'm gonna hit the shower. I'm gonna take a shit, then take my shower, then heading to bed. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the gaming video. Or if you're not into my gaming videos, I'll see you guys next week for my next album of the review. Wait, album, my you know what the series is called by now. This is episode 31.